What's up, guys? It's Sasha at the Football Hub, and today, well, I've already uploaded once today, so why not give you a double whammy? It's day one of the legal tampering period, so I thought I'd just give my thingy by thingy, signing by signing reaction. I'll start with Corey Davis. I think it's a good deal for Corey Davis, picking up 27 million guaranteed over 3 years. The Jets needed wide receiver depth. They had the money to get the big receiver on the market, Kenny Golladay, but I never really saw it as a fit considering. Well, they got Denzel Mims, who I know he's not Jerry Rice, but he's not the worst. He's not the worst receiver ever. And you get a guy like Corey Davis, who's a good depth piece, good second guy, who you can throw in there and give Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold or whoever is going to be their quarterback another guy to throw to. Carlos Hyde, I don't care. Philip Dorsett, I'll give a quick little comment. I've always liked Philip Dorsett as a good speed guy. He's kind of underachieved in his career, but overall, I think that's a good buy low signing for the Jags. Gronk, 10 million years a lot, but he's Brady's boy, so I don't think there should be any issues with that signing from anybody. Ronald Darby getting 19 and a half guaranteed is I think that's a little rich for my taste. He's a good corner, but 3 years, 30 million, and the first two of those being guaranteed is that's rich. I mean, that's the price of day one free agency right there. But I mean, good for them. Don't care. So I do want to talk about this. So I'll address both Leonard Floyd and John Johnson. This happened to me twice. I'll get to like the second instance. I had Floyd leaving and getting the bag, and Johnson staying. It flipped. Johnson stayed. He got the money, and Johnson, excuse me, he left and got the money. Floyd stayed, and that's a rich price for a guy across. Oops, for a guy across from Aaron Donald. But I mean, good for Leonard Floyd getting the money. Nelson Aguilar. So that isn't complete. I thought I saw it was at 2 years, 22. That's. I mean, it's an overpay. I think 11 million a year, 13 million is an overpay. I think 11 mil is about where he should be for 2 years. I'm gonna assume that maybe 10 to 13 of it's guaranteed, which I like. I like for the Patriots. They could use a guy who's a speed guy, and Aguilar is an upgrade over Demir Bird, definitely. And it's just Bill's finally addressing the receiver position. Ngakwe, this is the second case of where it happened to me, where I had the Patriots getting Ngakwe and Matt Judon, body built by Taco Bell, going to Vegas, and it just flipped. I do. This is a good deal for Vegas. 13 million a year for Ngakwe over 2 years. I like it. I like it for them. It's a good buy low guy on talent. It's good for Ngakwe, where he's still making fair market value over 2 years, where there's a little bit more insurance for him, and it's not just a franchise tag, which players rarely like to play on. But he gets more stability, I think. Where because last year was just a tough year where he holds out in Jacksonville in the year where there's a reduced training camp to begin with, and he's traded in August, and then he's traded again. So I think it was just tough for him to fit in. But now that he finally has some stability, I definitely think he could thrive. Terrence Brooks is a thumper, and he's a guy who's going to look great in the preseason, but's never really going to do anything in the NFL. But I mean, good for him. Don't care. Shelby is a good player, and 9 million a year is starting D tackle money at this point. Harris is a good run stuffer, who I had liked, who I would have wanted for the Patriots, but they chose to spend their money elsewhere. Corey Linsley got paid, and only 17 million guaranteed. So it's actually not a lot. It's a 5-year deal, but 17 guaranteed is low. So, and that the number instantly jumps off the page because I think 12 and a half for a center is a lot of money. But he takes the guarantee and he goes to play with Justin Herbert, and I think that's a good fit for Linsley. good on the Chargers for getting Justin Herbert some actual line help, which he lacked last year. Sam Snibblecom, who I think that's a guy I've always kind of liked Sam Snibblecom, and he's not Lawrence Taylor, but I definitely think he can be a serviceable pass rusher who the Niners add, who helps give them a sense of depth. Dietrich wise, I don't care. John Johnson, again, this is a really good get for Cleveland. And Cleveland always, the last 3 years, they've had a major get in free agency, and they had to add to defense. And you know what they do? They add to defense. And John Johnson's going to fit in there really well as a thumper, a guy who can hit, and a guy who can just run around and make plays. And yeah, it says it right here. Fills a major hole. The Browns need help in back. Oh fuck, what's his name? Sendejo isn't gonna cut it. Joe Tooney. I'm gonna take my deserved pat on the back for myself. I said on yesterday, that don't be shocked if Joe Tooney gets 5 years, 85 million. You know what happens? He gets 5 years, 80. I was close. I get a gold star in my opinion. He's absolutely worth it for the Chiefs. I think he's a top 10 offensive lineman in the league who can play at tackle, guard, and center on both sides of the line. He can play all five positions, and you combine the versatility with the fact that he's an all-pro guard. I think you could make the argument that he's the second best guard in the league behind Quentin Nelson, and combine that with he could play a left tackle for them. He could play right tackle for them. He could even play center. Austin Ryder is gonna be gone most likely, and I think that's a great signing for the Chiefs. Cool, you got a punter. That's neat. Jalen Mills is, well, he's a third string corner, and it's only 9 guaranteed. So if he sucks year one, you can basically cut him and cut your losses. It's a he's Eric Rowe. He's gonna be. We had Eric Rowe in 2016 when in the Atlanta Super Bowl, and he was a good third corner, and he's kind of switched to safety in Miami, and I think it's similar with Jalen Mills. Matt Judon, I love this signing. I absolutely love A+. This gets an A+ for me. 14 million a year for a top tier pass rusher with the first 2 years guaranteed. I just love it. Patriots had zero pass rush last year, and with the signing of Godshaw, the front fork is going to look like Judon, Godshaw, hopefully Lawrence Guy if he can be retained, and Winovich Uche on the other side, and I absolutely love it. I love it. Jason Verrett, a guy never been able to stay healthy, but when he can, it's a good deal for the Niners at $5.5 million for a starting corner. I don't like this deal. Godshaw, 9 million guaranteed. Full, huh. And again, Patriots need help up front. When you sign a guy like Bo Allen last year, and this screams this is Bo Allen 2.0 to me. I mean, 9 million guaranteed to Godshaw, I think is ridiculous. And I do have a conspiracy theory that I'm not going to get into now, but it involves Drew Rosenhaus and Jonnu Smith. But well, we'll do Cam Irving tackle for the Panthers. They get Pat Elflein, 8 million. I think that's a good deal for the Panthers. Jonnu Smith and the Patriots. It's an overpay, definitely. I mean, 12.5 million a year for Jonnu Smith, I think is that again. It's the price of day one free agency and the Patriots' desperation for a tight end. And I think they looked at a guy like Jonnu Smith, who's a good athlete at the position, and I think they're gonna give him to Josh McDaniels, and it's a raw piece of clay who you're gonna pay $12.5 million a year for at least for the next 2-3 years, and say, you know what, Josh, we're gonna finally give you something to play with. And Jonnu Smith, I think you're gonna get all the tight end screens in the world. All the tight end screens to Jonnu Smith. Romeo Okwara, I like this deal. I think Okwara, he's definitely a more than capable. I think 13 million a year, considering what Yannick Ngakoue got and what Matt Judon and Bodybuilt by Taco Bell got, I think is more than fair for Okwara. I think it's a good deal. Elflein, that's a good deal. I mean, he for a starting caliber tackle who's not Mike Remmers, who ironically used to play for Carolina, but I think that's definitely it's really only the first year, and it's really the first year, and they can cut him pretty easily after that. Shaq Barrett. I mean, goddamn. I again really like the year. Only first 2 years are guaranteed, so you can cut him after those first 2 years, which is Brady's window. This is a signing for Tom Brady because Brady he bumps the year on at the end of his contract, clears the 19 million for this year for the Tampa Bay Bucks to sign Shaq Barrett, and it's basically for 2 years. And then if you make me guess, like Gundam, if you make me like maybe put money on it, what they're gonna do after 2 years, they'll cut him. David's gonna be expired. Gronk's gonna be gone, and I would draft a quarterback in the next 2 years if I was them, just to be ready. No, I'm not saying draft one at 32, but maybe in round 2 or 3, or even like around 4, get a guy who can sit behind Brady and have so you have something, and you're not starting Blaine Gabbert or Brian Hoyer. Marius Golden's a good player, and I don't see the contract details here, but if it's at around 10, I think that's a fair contract. Anything more than 10, I would be a little surprised. And I'm gonna scroll down. I like Zeitler for the Ravens, good guard. They never really replaced Marshall Yand, and they go out and they do that. I just want to. Oh, by the way, use check. 5 million a year for fullback's a little rich. I'm not gonna lie, but only 10's guaranteed, so it's not that bad. See you in Canton, Drew. I gotta go down. I just gotta. Aaron Jones. I got boned by this because I filmed um my free agency predictions where I had Aaron Jones going to where I had him going to Miami, and literally 45 minutes later, I checked my phone and I see Aaron Jones re-signs with the Packs. I'm like, oh shit, you know. And I was too late. Whereas like I've already filmed it, so I'm definitely not going to redo it. So I do apologize. I did the not really the best I can do, but the best I wanted to do. So I mean that's gonna be it for me today. I will see you in the next one. Peace.